This week of Advent, the focus is love. I love Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year. I love all the things it represents, past, present, and future. I love Christmas music, singing the carols, the pageantry, Christmas decorating, shopping, Christmas food and entertaining, the reading of the Christmas story. And that's where I learned to love all things about Mary. During my lifetime, I have learned that there is no sweeter love than the love a mother has for their baby that they carried and birthed. During the Christmas season, I'm always reminded of the great love that Mary exhibited. I can only try to imagine the love Mary must have felt as she watched her baby Jesus, take his first breath. She must have felt an indescribable connection to God as she gave birth to his son. Mary was obedient. She certainly didn't have all the answers to her many questions. She was disgraced as an unwed mother and did not realize the pain that she would bear later. But through it all, she remained obedient to God and faithful to his calling. I have learned from Mary that I too was called by God when I chose to give him my heart, and it pleases him when I do my best to be totally committed and dedicated to him. He is pleased when I have a willing spirit to give and do everything out of love for him. Mary was brave. She knew the Old Testament teaching and the prophecies, and now she was going to become part of God's plan to fulfill that prophecy. She stood brave when she could have refused because of her standing in the community, or Joseph breaking the engagement, or whatever excuse you could come up with. Mary did not give in to fear, but she sang a song of praise that showed a depth of maturity in her relationship with God. Mary taught me that God does not give us a spirit of fear. He requires us to be brave when times are not going our way, but to stand up for him and to sing a song of praise in all things. Mary was highly favored by God. He delighted in her. He chose her to carry his son because he knew her heart. She was blessed among all women. When we use the word blessed today, it refers to living a life of privilege. This blessedness that Mary celebrated stands in stark contrast to this. But our standards, and by our standards, she does not look at all blessed. She was not born from a family that could afford expensive food or clothing. She was a nobody. She was a peasant girl from a little village. Her friends and her relatives saw her as a disgrace because she was unmarried and pregnant, not to mention what Joseph thought initially. Despite what others thought, God called her blessed, and he picked her among all others. Is there anything that we should want more in life than for God to find favor with us? Mary praises God for honoring her. She praises the Lord, proclaiming God's greatness in Luke 1 when she said, "My soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has been mindful of the humble state of his servant. From now on, all generations will call me blessed, for the Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy is his name." What an example. Let us follow Mary's example to be obedient, to be brave, and to live our lives in such a way that God will find favor with us, and we too will sing to magnify the Savior.